Hi, I'm Desaturate, and today we're going to be looking at how we can use the saturation blending mode to create some complex colour enhancing effects. So first up, we're going to change the colour space we're working in, and you can do this by going to the Edit menu and selecting Convert to Profile. And here we're going to just select the Pro Photo RGB colour space. And this just gives us a wider virtual colour palette to work with. So when we're using these more extreme saturation effects, we're less likely to get any colour clipping. Now the first thing we're going to do is give every colour in our image a uniform level of saturation. And we can do this by adding a solid colour adjustment layer and giving it the value of pure red. And now we're just going to add a hue saturation adjustment layer and attach it as a clipping mask by alt-clicking in between the two layers in the layers palette. And this just gives us a simple way to change how saturated our red solid colour layer is. And now we're going to select our solid colour layer again and change its blending mode to saturation. And you can see what this has done is brought every colour in our image up to a full 100% saturation. And now we can turn that effect down by changing the saturation of our solid colour layer. So as we turn it down, we go towards a black and white image. And somewhere around the lower 80s and 90s, we get an image with a kind of moderate level of saturation in every colour. And if we've got a saturation map preset, we can see the whole image is a pretty uniform saturation now. And this gives us a look a lot like crudely colorized black and white film. And in fact, you'd get much the same effect if you just painted with a colored paintbrush straight on top of a black and white photograph. So to make this a bit more natural, we're going to add a curves layer and create a saturation curve. And this works on the principle that as any part of a curve becomes horizontal, all the tones in that image area become grey. So if we change the blending mode of our curves layer to saturation, these grey areas suddenly become a full desaturation effect. And this means we can add selectively saturate and desaturate highlights, midtones and shadows separately. So in this image I want to take some of the strong saturation out of the colours in the shadows and particularly in the hair. So I'm using the click and drag tool and rolling the mouse over the region I want to desaturate. And we can see that's right at the bottom of the tone curve. So I'm just going to create a point here and bring that part of the tone curve horizontal. Then I'm going to do the same in the highlights just to desaturate them a bit too. And although we've still got quite a Technicolor look, you can see this is getting towards the way colours work naturally in a photograph. And if we look at our saturation map again, we can see the saturation levels are now following the tones of our image. And you can see how this changes as we adjust the steepness of different parts of the saturation curve itself. And you can see this is a great effect for creating these slightly unreal Technicolor and colorized looks. And it can make actually colorizing black and white photographs a lot easier.